On the wedding day, the girl focused on eating, not caring that the prince was marrying a new concubine. The guests all figured the new concubine was far more worthy of the princess consort title. Little did they know, the girl wanted to divorce the prince more than anyone else. Just the day before, the girl found that the critically ill person was her mother who had been in a car accident. She immediately wanted to personally operate on her mother, but she forgot she hadn't had a proper rest for 3 days. Just like in many dramas, the girl fainted and traveled to a novel world. A scheming woman was pushing her off the city tower, but time suddenly froze. A fairy appeared and congratulated the girl on being dead. Hearing this, she anxiously said she hadn't performed her mother's surgery yet. The fairy immediately responded that there was another way to be reborn. It turned out that the fairy was in charge of marriages, but had mistakenly tied a marriage thread. If the girl could cut off the wrong marriage with the prince, she could get a chance to return to the modern world. The girl agreed without hesitation. The next moment, the princess consort's memories flooded into her mind. The prince angrily questioned why she had framed his lifesaver. Ignoring her explanations, he locked her in the cold palace, and only temporarily released her on the wedding day. However, he never would have thought that the princess consort had become a different person. She burst into tears, shouting he had tried to starve her to death just to please the new concubine. Hearing this, the guests all scolded the prince for being heartless. The prince was genuinely angered by these words. He grabbed the girl and snarled if she'd gone crazy. At that moment, the scheming woman put on a wronged look, offering a cup of tea. But the girl swept the cup to the floor without even looking. Seeing this, the prince could no longer hold back his anger, claiming he would divorce this rude princess consort immediately. The girl couldn't hide her delight, never expecting to complete the task so easily. Just as the prince was about to stamp the divorce letter, a guest suddenly drew a knife and stabbed at him. The prince narrowly dodged, but more and more assassins burst into the wedding. This made the girl extremely worried that if he died, she would have no way to get a divorce. She had to throw herself to block a fatal sword strike for him, and then passed out from the pain. When she woke up again, the maid congratulated her on getting the permission to leave the cold palace. But the girl wasn't happy, even yelled that she wanted the divorce letter more. Unbeknownst to her, the prince overheard everything. He angrily pushed the door open and sat close beside her. When the girl tried to move away, he held her tighter and even took off her outer robe. He then kept moving closer to her lips, his hot breath fanning her face. At this moment, the girl froze completely. Just when she thought the prince was going to kiss her, he stopped and sneered. "Did you really think I was going to kiss you?" Only then did the girl realize she had been tricked, but she seized the chance to kiss his cheek quickly. This time, it was the prince's turn to freeze. He stood up and scolded her for playing dirty, then left in a fluster. The girl was only glad that he hadn't fallen for her due to her saving him. She needed a new plan for divorce, so she decided to escape secretly. As long as the princess consort disappeared, the prince would have to announce the divorce publicly. However, when she packed her bags to leave, she accidentally bumped into a rushing guard and learned the prince was injured. As a professional doctor, the girl couldn't bear to let anyone die untreated. She went to the prince's room to check his injury, but the next second, the prince pulled her into the bed curtains, gripping her wrist tightly. She then realized he wasn't injured at all, he just wanted revenge for her earlier kiss.